And happy Monday to all of you out there at the PJ Campbell Network. How you guys all doing? It is January 11th, 2021, and we are here with our Brandon Buckingham, executive producer, pick of Moneyball for our Watchalong number 80. That's right, Watchalong number 80. And as Reefism has just pointed out, Moneyball is no longer on Netflix. We learned that unfortunate truth.
Wait.
Right as the start.
80?
80.
Wow. You've done almost as many watch-alongs as old as I am.
I know.
Wow.
I mean, but here we are, man. You know, it's me. It's my buddy Maxwell. He's always here with me. How are you, sir?
I am well. I love this movie with all my heart.
Me too.
Every time I watch it, it goes closer, higher and higher up my favorite movies.
I could not disagree or agree with you more, my friend. And
I think Bennett Miller is one of the finest filmmakers of our generation. Between this and Capote and Foxcatcher, I think he's remarkably talented.
Me too, Brandy. It'll be special.
I have an idea for 100 that I'm not ready to share yet, but I think the screenplay is incredible. I think Brad Pitt gives one of his best performances. I think Jonah Hill is extraordinary. Plus, you have my favorite actor of all time, Philip Seymour Hoffman, in there. You got so many great actors on the team. You got Spike Jonze wearing flip-flops. You got that beautiful song his daughter sings. It's just a remarkable movie. My second favorite baseball movie of all time, and that's only because my favorite baseball movie of all time is literally in my top 10 favorite movies of all time. So,
would that be A League of Their Own?
It sure would be, PJ.
Oh my God! It's like I know you.
Oh, it's like we did a whole show about our top 10s. Check it out. It was 4 hours. Get some alcohol and watch it.
Yeah.
But look, I agree with this, actually. That made me very happy that Bennett Miller getting that surprise nomination for Foxcatcher. Because if you haven't seen Foxcatcher, remarkably good film with 3 incredible performances. Anyone who says Channing Tatum is not a good actor has to watch Foxcatcher. He is fantastic.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I could not agree with you more, my friend. You know, that's how it works out.
We have some fun stuff coming up on the network the next few days. Why don't we go through that before we bring in our guests and watch this movie? Tomorrow night, there's nothing on this network. However, I do host a weekly after show of Zoe's
Traitor
playlist. It's not like there's anything on the network. I'm not doing it instead of being on this network. It's at 9:15 Pacific on Rachel Silvestrini's episode. It's myself, Rachel, and Lindsay Payne. Tomorrow is episode 2 of season 2. Can't wait to talk about it. I'm sure it's going to be another great episode. I love that show. Wednesday night, Suddenly Soundtracks is back. This is the episode we should have done last week until some fucking assholes decided to stage a violent insurrection in our capital. And we thought that doing an episode of Suddenly Soundtracks would be a bad idea. So we're going to be talking about our favorite songs of all time, or at least our, the best we could do to come up with a list now. On that show is myself, PJ, Tim Franco, Jen Kemp, of course, our host, Chris Clark, and our special guest, Max Bartos. You'll know Max if you watched the Sing Street episode of Suddenly Soundtracks. He's a young actor who appeared off-Broadway in Sing Street. And I love having him because he's also much younger than any of us, so to get that unique perspective, I think will be a lot of fun. Thursday, I am especially excited about this. Front Center Mezzanine is... Oh, no, wrong button. Front Center Mezzanine is back. PJ and I are joined by Jennifer Ashley Tepper. Jennifer Tepper is a theatrical producer. She has been the programming director at 54 Below for years. That's an incredibly cool Broadway cabaret club. She is a noted theater historian and author of 3 volumes of books called The Untold Stories of Broadway. I highly recommend those books. As far as I'm concerned, she is the single smartest and sharpest mind in theater today. If there was like a schmodown for theater, she would be the belt holder every single year. Her breadth of knowledge is astounding. I am very much looking forward to talking to her, and she's also just a wonderful, lovely person that I'm honored to call a friend.
Yeah, I'm super excited. I've missed Front Center Mez, man.
Yeah, me too. Friday night is... Oh, I thought I had put...
No, it was in the other overlay, and I didn't have it, but we got the other...
Well, we got the double one. Okay,
yeah.
So Friday night begins the start of PJ's birthday bash. Friday night, we're doing a watch-along of The Shining in preparation of a watch-along of Dr. Sleep, the director's cut. next Monday, because next Tuesday is PJ's birthday. You may have heard of PJ Campbell. Almost
fuck that guy. He's the fucking worst. His questions are terrible.
Named after him. So we're gonna enter the world of the Overlook Hotel, spend some time with Father Torrance and then Son Torrance. I love both of these movies, and I'm looking forward to sharing them with all of you wonderful people. Saturday, I'm especially excited. The water cooler chat is back, but this time it's all about WandaVision. We'll be doing this every Saturday afternoon at 12 Pacific, 3 Eastern, breaking down that week's episode of WandaVision. And I have come to learn that they will be dropping 2 episodes of WandaVision on Friday to get things started. So we'll have a long episode on Saturday to break it all down. I think the show looks incredible. That'll be myself, PJ, Sean. I'm sure Dwayne Burke will be joining us, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Jake Berlin joining us. And then you never know what other special guests may pop in week in and week out as we break down WandaVision. Couple final notes. We have a new show coming called Book Nook on January 26th. Will be our first episode, hosted by myself and Dwayne Burke. This is a monthly book club style show where each week we read a book, talk about it, break down the narrative, the themes, the characters, the writing style, etc. Our goal is that everyone will get themselves a copy, read the book, and then they can engage in the chat and we can just have a wonderful conversation. So please do go to your local independent bookstore or bookshop.org, which will connect you to your local independent bookstores. I believe strongly, especially now during the pandemic, to shop small.
Yes.
And also there's a bunch of Twitch stuff coming up this Saturday on the PJ Campbell Network Twitch. It's going to be an 8-player Jamboree Mario Party Madness with 4 teams. We got Late to the Party. We got William Bibiani and his lovely significant other. We got the Smiths, who are called Team Assholes. And we have Chris Clark and Eric Barnes, who I didn't realize were together, but based on the way this is going, I guess this is their coming out party. And if you didn't know, William's cat, Sergio, was very tragically put to rest yesterday. So any donations or money that comes in during this will go towards helping out with Sergio's vet bill. So our hearts go out to William and his lovely significant other and Sergio the cat. And we're happy to help with that in any way we can.
Yeah, man. I look, the community has rallied around me before in the past with what happened with Kirk, and so it only feels right to try to pay it forward as best as possible. Yeah. And I love William Bibiani. I love his wife very much, and Sergio was a delight. So here's to you, Sergio, and, we love you.
Cheers. Of course, tonight is very special because it is a Patreon pick. We do have a Patreon with many different tiers. Check it out. See if there's one that's right for you. The $50 tier, which is our executive producer tier, a.k.a. Platinum Membership, lets you pick a watch-along each month. This was, of course, picked by Brendan Buckingham. So before I bring him in, ask him why he picked this movie and a few thoughts, let's play the Patreon credits. They have not been updated with our newest patron who joined yesterday. What is his name again?
I got you. Give me half a second. I should have had this pulled up earlier, but it's been a day. Sorry, guys. Hold, please. Tyler Birch. Tyler Birch.
Thank you, Tyler. You will be put in the credits and stuff in the next few days. It takes a little while to do that, but to Tyler and all of our patrons, we send our incredible thanks, and here's a little shout out to you.
I'm singing in the rain, yes, singing in the rain. What a glorious feeling, I'm happy again. I'm laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing, singing in the rain. And singing in the rain.
That is never not going to bring a smile to my face. It's just so fucking awesome every single time. And yeah, Matt, I agree. The editing is incredible. It was done by the great Maxwell, sitting right next to me.
One of my favorite things I've ever edited. I had a blast putting that together.
It's so good.
I love making like montages of movies and clips and stuff like that.
Bye, Jake.
What's up, Jake? Thanks for stopping by. We love you, buddy.
Yeah, wish you could have been here tonight, my friend. As always.
But yeah, like I said, we are watching Moneyball tonight because of one man, and let's bring him on and see how he's doing. It's Brandon Buckingham. What's up, buddy?
There he is. Look at that guy.
That song. I love that movie. I was talking to this with PJ, Singing in the Rain. That might be my next choice. I'm just going to say.
I want that to happen, and I'm not going to push back at all. I'm just saying.
No spoilers. Singing in the Rain is not only in my top 10 of all time, but in my top 5 of all time. I love that movie with all my heart. So, yeah, I would love that.
Yeah.
So, why'd you pick Moneyball? What is it about this movie that you love? I mean, we know you're a sports guy, but...
Why not pick Moneyball? That was like, as soon as you guys asked, all right, what's your pick? I'm like, all right, have you done Moneyball? Like, that was my first thing. Have you done Moneyball yet? And you said no. I'm like, all right, that's my choice. Like, I love this movie. I'm a big fan of Sorkin's writing. So, and I love baseball. So it's like a no-brainer to me. And also, I lived through this time when the events of Moneyball happened. So there's a huge part of my sports history with the whole season. So it was a no-brainer for me. I watch this at least once every couple months. When I'm down, I need to be put in a good mood. Oh, let's go watch some Moneyball.
Yeah, I agree. I've seen this movie probably going on 25 times now since it came out. And you are definitely in good company as far as loving baseball. PJ and I are both huge baseball fans. And talking about huge baseball fans, we could not watch a baseball movie without this guy. You know him, you love him. He's a good friend of the channel. Some call him the Wizard. I prefer to call him Gator. It's James White.
So much better than Sean Sullivan last night on Online, let me tell you.
What's up, guys, man? I'm so excited to watch this movie, man. Mixing movies and baseball and Aaron Sorkin. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. Got my Orioles jersey on. I mean, let's go.
Ashley said that she is not shocked that Buck picked a baseball movie, apparently.
No, Ashley's a very good friend of mine. She literally supports anything that I do.
Oh, Ashley, well, we're glad to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.
Well,
if you've never been here before, welcome. We're so happy to have you. If you're a repeat offender, thank you. I'm not sure why you keep coming back, but you do, and we love to see it. We are going to watch Moneyball, talk about it, probably make some jokes, commentate it, enjoy how wonderful this film is. Unfortunately, it is no longer available on Netflix because, as it seems to go, a movie gets picked on this channel for a watch-along, and then like 2 days before, it gets taken off a free streaming service. But it is rentable, ownable on Amazon, iTunes, etc. So, yeah. My friend here, PJ, is going to start counting down from 5. He'll say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. On go, we will start watching Moneyball. And let's do it.
Real quick, Reefism. Dawn of the Day of the Dead today is the shirt of choice, and it's the Day of the Dead Stranger Things shirts in particular.
Jaws.
Love it.
Nice.
I just love, by the way, that every time it has literally become Reefism has to go, so what shirt are you wearing tonight? Because it's always one of my horror shirts.
I really want, just like on one random day, just you to wear like a plain white like crew neck t-shirt.
PJ
So when
doesn't have
Reefism
one of
says,
those.
what t-shirt are you wearing today? You could just be like, it's Hanes.
I don't know if I know what that even is.
It's Fruit of the Loom.
Oh,
What
God.
can I say? All right, PJ. Whenever you're ready to count down, it's in your hands, and let's fuck some Moneyball up.
All right, let's do this in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. Hey, Dipper, you were so quiet that time.
Rated PG-13 for drug use, foul language, sexuality, and violence.
Yep. Buck, Reefism wants to know what your favorite baseball team is, friend. There it is. Yeah. I love that it opens with the Mickey Mantle quote.
Yeah.
So perfect.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
I wonder that, man. I don't know how anyone can not be romantic about baseball.
Oh, it's slow. It's boring. Every time I hear that, I'm like, you're not paying attention, because it's not. There's so much going on to actually pay attention to.
Yeah.
Baseball is definitely one of those things that the more you know about it, the more you can appreciate it. And every single pitch, there's 500 things going on.
Yeah.
Bye, Sean. Thanks for stopping by and hitting the like button as always, buddy.
Sean.
We appreciate it.
Roger. Spencer.
Are you sad already, PJ? Seeing Joe
Are-
Torre just
Why you gotta do that? Why you gotta do that?
Hey,
Buck came on here and was like, I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna talk about the Yankees. I'm not gonna be mean to you tonight. And then this fucking fool just out here running his mouth already. God damn.
I told PJ and Maxwell no Yankees and Mets slander.
That's
and I'll
good.
keep my word.
That's because the Mets are a good team.
Okay, well, it was good to see.
You can see right here on my name, we're going to be a great team this year.
That's true. Dude, watching this, though, I do get, like, amazing
The Mets
chills.
arguably engaged in the biggest deal of the offseason so far. This is the type of trade that they reserve the term blockbuster trade for. I'm fucking amped.
I just hope it's not a 1-year rental, because he's on his last.
No, I don't think so. Cohen's gonna give him- he's gonna give him
I feel confident that with Steve Cohen owning the team now, they're going to sign him into a pretty decent extension.
Yeah. It just doesn't make sense with everything that they gave up for him.
My
Just
guess
this-
is
the-
that
can we-
they had an extension kind of already planned out, and it was contingent on the trade.
I'd like to talk about real quick how brilliant I think it is that they're clearly showing the footage like you're watching it on television, with it then like leading to an edit of someone watching it on a small television inside the stadium. Like, it's such a great transition. We like transitions around here. That comes up a lot, but it always makes me happy. I think it's such a
And
brilliant way
this
to
shot
tell a story. Yeah.
Of Billy
He's
Bean
just
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 sitting
like
alone
that.
in the dark in the stadium is like the perfect introduction to this character.
What's up, Lastrina?
And to your
Buck,
point,
you're just
PJ, it's
getting
actually
everywhere.
a really clever edit too, because obviously they didn't have HD footage from stuff back then, so it's a really smart way to incorporate that footage into it.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's brilliantly done by Bennett Miller. And I mean, of course, I think the script is just remarkable by Sorkin.
This is hands down my favorite Brad Pitt role. Like,
It's up there for sure.
so good. God, he just you can just see him breaking. He's like, again, just can't do this.
And this is why I could
Okay.
give you that little dig, because I knew what happened. So yeah, you could be sad for a second, and then you still won.
Fuck the Yankees.
I'm pretty sure there was a shot of Rudy Giuliani there too that I just
There was.
noticed. And I was just like, God
Sure
damn
was.
it.
I was
like,
going to let that
fucking-
just go by, but
Nope.
no, PJ
Nope.
had to bring it up.
fuck the insurrectionist.
Oh, geez. Ringhousing.
If you guys didn't know, we have a very political stance on this network that we are not pro-insurrectionists.
Yeah. Not a great way to spend my birthday, I'll tell you that.
Well, it's not looking much better for mine next week, friend. So
Yeah. You make a good point, man. We were born with some crappy days.
Let's just break my walkie-talkie. My radio.
What is everybody's first Brad Pitt film? Mine was Cool World, says Reefism.
I don't even know. I'd have to go look.
First one that I remember seeing Brad Pitt in was Seven.
mine that like really stands out to me, honestly, was probably Ocean's 11.
I want to say maybe True Romance or Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
He also
Yeah,
the Devil's
this is
Own.
true. We are redoing James's birthday this Wednesday.
It might be Interview with a Vampire.
Ooh, that's good.
I like that movie.
Yeah, that's
Brad Pitt's been in so many good movies.
he's an excellent actor who's made some really great choices, and I was very happy to finally see him get the Oscar for.
He
Once
is a
Upon Time.
character actor in the body of a leading man, in my opinion.
I agree.
My
And that's
favorite running gag of his is he's always eating.
Oh, he is the single greatest on-screen eater in the history of cinema.
It's so good.
I have done mathematical equations before wherein the quality of a Brad Pitt performance is directly dependent on how frequently he's eating on screen. And in Moneyball, that motherfucker has snacks in his mouth all the time.
I'm just going to say we're also forgetting about the greatness that is Sung Kang. Sung Kang is also an unsung hero of eating things on screen.
He is a good eater, I agree.
So I just want to throw that out there. Like, we give Brad Pitt all the credit, but also Sung Kang.
I mean, Brad Pitt is obviously already incredibly wealthy, but if he was hurting for cash and he put out some mukbang videos...
Oh, man.
I love in Oceans when he's eating the shrimp and it just keeps flipping back because the continuity just goes up.
In that first Oceans especially, he is constantly eating.
Every scene. I can almost guarantee it's every scene he has something.
And it's hilarious.
That line, what are we doing here if we're not here to win a championship, is so excellent.
That's okay. One of the things that just drives me crazy about sports fans is they're fine if they don't make the playoffs or they don't win a championship. No, your goal should be a championship. Anything less is a disappointment.
Yeah.
It depends. See, I have a team that hasn't hardly been to the playoffs in my lifetime. So if we have a winning season after having 8 straight losing seasons, that's a win. It's not where I want to be. I want to see a World Series.
Yeah, which you can be fine with, but
what I have a problem is not with fans that are accepting a winning season as acceptable. I have a problem with ownership and management that are accepting of just a winning season. If they are not putting the work in,
like fans are so used to it because their owners just they don't care.
I have a very, very big problem with my ownership group.
I had a massive problem with my ownership group up until about 6 months ago.
Yes,
when now we went from having maybe the worst owners in baseball to one of the best.
I really like that guy, man. I want to Steve Cohen on my own.
Yep, we're very, very fortunate.
Okay. I like when owners know you have to spend to be competitive, and some owners are scared to spend money because they're scared to lose. I'm like, you spend money, you put good product on the field, they make the playoffs, you earn that money back.
Yeah, the sports teams that I have a problem with are the ones that are just in it to make a profit. So they'll put just an adequate team together just to appease fans, and then they just try to just roll in that money, and they don't want to spend big. You don't have to be the Yankees and spend $500 million on a roster, as Moneyball proves, to have a competitive team. But you have to take the Moneyball approach and supplement it. Give them a little bit. You sign 1 or 2 guys to a good contract and get a couple stars in there. And then with that, the A's, I think, would have been a lot better of a team.
God, look at the average age of these scouts.
Right. Well, and that kind of tells you everything about this entire team and their organization, right? Out the gate, you're like, they are so not prepared for this.
It's a very diverse group. I mean, we got white men in their 60s, white men in their 70s, white men in their 50s.
Here comes one of my favorite just things that created a phenomenal.
I also wanted to say, I wanted to say hi to Nikki real quick. Hi, Nikki. It's good to see you. I don't know if you're still here.
Draft Egglord. Draft Egglord.
Teresa, don't get me started on Chris Davis. I'll hijack this entire watch along for an hour and a half.
How about we don't do that, actually?
Yeah. God, look at he's just like.
This is such a great way of showing the like super antiquated, old-fashioned way that these scouts would try to put together teams.
Yeah, 100%. Talking la 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 la.
What is everyone's favorite Jonah Hill film?
Superbad. I love him in Superbad.
22 Jump Street.
I like 21 better than 22.
22 has some of my favorite moments with him, specifically the stuff with him and Ice Cube that I think is incredible.
I think
really
the
good.
Jump Streets are my favorite Jonah Hill comedies, but I really love him in this, and I especially love him in Wolf of Wall Street.
He's great in Wolf of Wall Street.
Wolf of Wall Street was the one that I was thinking of. I've only seen it twice, though, so I really want to revisit that.
and there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's us. All of us know.
It created such a great meme because you can use it for anything.
Yep. I've used it for I don't know how many memes in the past.
Oh, God, yeah.
First time I saw Jonah Hill was in 40-Year-Old Virgin. Because he has a tiny little part
and he wants
going
to
in the eBay shop and wants to buy those shoes.
But why can't I buy him when I'm right here?
And he also has a small part in I Heart Huckabees.
Yeah, and then, of course, I also love him in Accepted. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I relate to that 50 feet of the crap line so much. Like, everything that Billy says there, like, it hits home so much for the Orioles.
See,
it's like we're organ donors for the other team.
Like, here, I'm not good. I'm not bad. I'm like, certain seasons, we'll see.
It's like, I mean, it could be my childhood right there. It's like, yeah, we get a star and then we just give them away to the bigger teams.
The shortstop.
Yeah, clearly you've been doing it for a long time, and look how it's gotten for you guys.
I think Jonah sort of hit the experimental phase of his career where he's just like, I have nothing to prove anymore. I have 2 Oscar nominations. I'm just going to do what I want to do.
Yeah, I kind of dig it, to be honest. I like when actors go on that side of themselves.
Look at that. I would love to have that, like, very 1980s Mets varsity style jacket.
Dude, I love that Mets logo.
Mental note for anyone in the chat who wants to get Maxwell a late Christmas present.
Yeah, please. I would take it in a 2X. Thank you very much.
The true 5-tool player.
It's a very slow swing. They should have got a better actor.
What do you think is Bennett Miller's best movie? I
mean, it's probably this for me, to be honest.
This is the one I've watched the most, although for what it's worth, when people are like, what movie have you seen the most time in theaters? And everyone's always like, Star Wars or Harry Potter. And yeah, I saw those a lot, but I saw Capote 7 times in theaters. I'm probably the only person alive who saw it that many times in theaters. So
that's a great movie, though.
It's excellent. Yes, I very much think he would have been but I do believe he was actually in talks to be the Riddler, not the Penguin, and that's the role Paul Dano got.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Apparently, he just wanted too much money, and they decided that they didn't feel comfortable paying their villain more than paying their Batman. I think he wanted $10 million.
Yeah, and ultimately, I'm kind of glad with the way that it went.
Me too. I think Paul Dano is impeccable casting.
Yeah, he really is.
I'm exceptionally excited for that movie.
I also think his Riddler is going to be very Zodiac-esque, so that'll be kind of fun.
I have a lot of theories about that Batman movie, but the dialogue in this movie just crackles.
And Pitt is one of the best at delivering Sorkin dialogue. I mean, he's great at delivering any dialogue,
Yeah, he is.
but there's a very specific person that needs to be in a Sorkin penned anything, because there's a very certain type of attitude you need to bring to what you're saying, and Pitt was pitch perfect for it.
You'll notice once again we're in a room of baseball minds, and it's all middle-aged white guys, and Jonah Hill.
Yeah, no, Pitt's got the cadence and the charisma to just pull off Aaron Sorkin lines just as well as anybody.
So I once took
Respectfully.
the Sorkin master class.
Oh, really?
It was wow, it was really insightful.
I bet. I saw that. I was always considering it.
Respectfully. I would punch that guy in the face if he kept saying that to me.
PJ, you should bring up that last comment.
So I was just curious what Bennett Miller's doing next, and he's doing, not that we need it, but an adaptation of A Christmas Carol.
Not even close. It's not possible.
100's possible.
The 100
You think
steal,
so?
maybe. Hitting 400 over 162 games, not possible.
It's
Last
possible.
season,
It's not going to happen, but it's possible. It's been done before, so it could theoretically be
That
done
over
again.
400, I think there's one hitter in baseball who could theoretically hit over
okay,
400.
so you got to think 162 games. You average 3 at bats. That's closer to 500 at bats. That's 200 hits.
Yeah. No,
There's
it's
one
impossibly difficult, but
one hitter who I think could pull it off.
right now, who is that?
Christian Yelich.
BCD, I also
I don't
agree
think
with
it's
that.
going to happen, but
I thought almost everyone in Trial was doing incredible with the dialogue and stuff. Like, again, very impeccably cast movie, Trial of the Chicago 7.
that look that Brad Pitt just gave Jonah Hill, like, who the fuck is this kid?
Mhm.
Like, this kid is like undermining me at every freaking turn. Who is he?
There he goes. He's eating.
Of course. I have a feeling now he just has it in his contract. Like, I was like, need a few scenes where I'm eating food.
God, if you did a drinking game with Brad Pitt eating in movies, you'd have liver damage by the end of the movie.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Dead
You're
on the
assuming
floor.
that we already don't have liver damage just from COVID, friend.
Whoa.
It was a
You,
joke.
come here.
Hello.
He's so very Jonah Hill right out the gate until he stops being very Jonah Hill. Like, the performance evolves, which I really appreciate. He starts as kind of awkward and then moves on. I really like Molly's Game also, Mike. I think it gets a
Molly's Game is
really
really
weird rap.
I think of the two films Sorkin has directed so far, I prefer Molly's Game. I like a lot of elements of Trial of the Chicago 7.
Whose nephew are you? Just out the gate saying that.
Just
We really need more baseball movies.
Yeah.
yes, we go.
There hasn't been
been-
a big
it's been a
baseball
bit.
movie since this one, has it?
42.
Oh, yeah. Okay. It's like the 80s and 90s, we were getting baseball movies left and right.
This
They
is
don't make a lot
probably-
of sports movies in general anymore.
Yeah, they really don't.
And if they are, it's mostly biopics or at least historical, kind of like this one or Miracle. Or
I mean, I feel like a movie not too dissimilar from this about the Astros cheating scandal is going to happen.
Yeah, and I could see
Maybe
Sorkin
Sorkin. Yeah, I was
doing
gonna
that
say
one, too.
maybe because he could make it like a spiritual sequel. Like, similarly, he keeps talking about doing a sequel to The Social Network, so why not?
Now I want that movie.
I'd love to see him return to the world of baseball. I really would.
I
think
don't know
he's
if
incredibly
baseball would let
talented.
that happen because they don't want the whole thing to just
But then, so you
all the baseball.
sure. So you do it like Concussion, change the team names,
Mhm.
make it a little bit more not so like it's real. Everything happened, but you do it that way, and you're looking at something a little different. And I can see them doing that.
I would think football. There's probably more football movies than any other type of sports movie.
Yeah, I think that's probably not
Would
wrong.
be my guess.
I don't know.
Then again,
I
we
would-
got a pretty good
I would say
basketball
baseball.
movie this year, so there might,
Yeah, if I had to wager a guess, I would think that there's probably been more baseball movies because I can think of movies starting in like the 30s and the 40s with baseball. You
Yeah.
don't really have a lot of football movies from back in the day. I mean, you go back to Bang the Drum Slowly and all these. Pride of the Yankees.
Once again, the way that they have all this play out, having the actual footage, and then him talking over it is just so good. It's great exposition. Because Sorkin is kind of like all exposition, if you think about it. It's dialogue, but it's all expositional dialogue.
Oh, Dan Duquette signing. I don't like that guy.
Meanwhile, this is basically the fundamentals that all teams use now in 2021.
That's really the problem with what happened with the A's is they started this trend and then all the big money teams adopted the trend, but also had the money to spend to supplement it. So then you're kind of screwed. Woo, Maryland.
Yeah,
You're funny.
you're a funny kid.
Here's the thing, like even scenes like this in this movie where there's no dialogue for being a Sorkin film, it's pretty remarkable just how good Pitt can be in these moments.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that just shows how good he is as an actor still to this day. Like again, he absolutely deserved his win for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think that performance is fantastic. His third act turn where it becomes just like over the top comedic is incredible.
Yeah. That's a movie that's really grown on me. When I saw it in the theaters, I was not a huge fan of it. And then when I rewatched it at home, I liked it more.
Which one?
And then now the more I think about
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It was my favorite movie of last year, and I continue, like, every time I watch it, I love it more and more and more and more. I think that as far as Tarantino goes, it's like that and Inglourious Bastards for me. Like, I think they're both very specific movies made by him for different things. But, oh my god, we should do a once watch-along.
Ooh, that'll be a long one.
Hey, Dr. Sleep's going to be 3 hours.
Yeah, it is.
This scene is...
Do you have a Billy Bean baseball card, Max?
I don't.
No. I've never gone through and looked at my old Mets cards to see.
Seeing this play out, like, as he's remembering it while he's sitting on the plane was so brilliantly kind of put together.
Unfortunately, it didn't work out for him.
No.
There's so many stories like this.
Oh yeah,
Especially with baseball. The draft is such a crapshoot with it. You never know what you're going to get with an 18-year-old kid.
No. And the thing is, with, like, any sport, unfortunately, it comes down to if you even, like, get hurt or something happens, you are quickly no longer priority and or necessary.
next man up.
Yeah.
Cut the crap, man.
Hey, Thank you. That's kind of okay.
Yeah.
The way he says that, yeah, is so great.
Uh-huh.
Pack your bags, Pete. I just bought you from the Cleveland Indians.
I mean, would you rather live in Cleveland or Oakland?
Oakland.
BCD. I've seen that commonly said about the last act of Once. Everyone's mileage may vary. For an entire generation, that scene is arguably one of the most cathartic things ever put on film, including for Tarantino, which is why he did it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
I won't say what happens, Buck, but there was a cathartic nature for that was very
I think
specific.
Uh-oh.
This
That shot of him.
So
coming
this
through
is
the
not a
tunnel.
score. So this is a song by
or song, sorry.
the Mighty Rio Grande.
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of stuff by like Explosions in the Sky. And it's so beautiful.
Agreed. He's an overachiever here. Like, how good are you at doing this, man? You evaluated 47 players?
So it wasn't just their major league roster. There's probably a bunch of their 60-man.
I like that shot of him walking through the hallway and he's just like kind of juggling the baseball in his hand.
So the one thing this movie kind of ignores, and he wasn't with the Athletics anymore, but Sandy Alderson was with the Athletics for quite a while before this, and even before Billy Beane. And Peter Brandt's not a real person; he's like an amalgamation of a couple people. Sandy had already started trying to integrate sabermetrics into the Athletics. It didn't really work until Billy Beane did it, but I do think Sandy is one of the great baseball minds of our time, and now he's the president of the Mets.
Don't tempt me, Brandy. Don't tempt me.
James, you should probably write this down.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brandy, don't help a competitor cheat on the game. God.
I already I thought it was 37 before he said 47. I was like, shit, I was so close. I was off by a digit.
Actually, we're off by 10.
Yeah, one did.
Baseball stats are one of
I
my
know.
favorite things just to look at. Like, I just love thinking about baseball stats and
Yeah.
trying to come up with baseball stats. It's just...
Baseball and basketball stats and hockey stats are some of my favorites. Like, just going through them and looking at them is always so fun for me.
Oh, we saw Albert Pujols. Actually, a lot of those names I recognize.
Yeah. Well, again, like, this was a pretty big time for baseball right around here when they're doing this. Like, and you and I were both young enough that, I mean, obviously we still watch and we still enjoy baseball, but in your formative years of watching a sport and falling in love with it, you start to keep remembering the people around it in that time.
You absorb everything from that. Yeah. Like, I have vivid memories of like all these players from the 90s, and then once you get into the 2000s, I'm like, oh, I forgot he was there. No clue.
Go ahead, Buck.
Oh, no. I was just going to say, I love this guy's throwing motion because it shouldn't work. Like,
Chad
it
Bradford.
makes no sense. You're going this way. You're coming from the ground up. Like, it shouldn't work, but it does. Chad Bradford.
Yeah, he pitched for the Orioles a little bit after he left the Athletics.
God, that song.
Yeah. It's a perfect choice for this movie.
Oh,
this
it's
scene
so
in particular.
great.
Yeah, I did read Moneyball. I don't know if I have a copy of it still, but I definitely did read it at least at one point. Anyone else?
Fun fact: I played against Prince Fielder actually. When I was in high school, he was a year younger than me, and
Brandy,
my junior year, we played against him, and I was a catcher, and I called for a fastball low and away, and the pitcher threw it up and in, and he hit it 450 feet.
are you saying that James is not on the up and up here, Brandy?
I'm scouting. That's what movies
And
PJ
here's
watch.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, ladies and gentlemen.
There he is, the late great Philip Seymour Hoffman. This is one of my favorite Hoffman performances.
Yeah.
Yep, an island misfit toys indeed, Patty. Friend of mine. Just
No.
watching these two act off of each other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like you said, you know, Hoffman gives a fantastic performance in this movie. The only gripe I have is that Art Howe wasn't as discussive of sabermetrics.
Yeah.
He was much more on
Art
board.
Howe
He wasn't
did not
this antagonist that he's portrayed in the film.
It makes dramatic sense to
It
have
does.
someone high up in the organization being skeptical of it and fighting back against him, so that when it does start working for the audience, there's even more of a catharsis.
Yeah.
And it goes back to what we were talking about when we did Steve Jobs the other night. The history being smudged and moved around the way it does is not necessarily a bad thing, because it's always about the theatricality and the drama of the piece. And it works. As long as it works within the confines of the film, I'm pretty much okay with it.
Yeah. Art Howe was not a fan of how he was portrayed in this movie.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
If Philip Seymour Hoffman got to play me in a movie, he could portray me however the fuck he chooses. Glenn Morshower, the great Glenn Morshower. So good on 24.
Yeah, Mike, I miss him too, man. He just...
Every day. Not a
now
day
and then.
goes by that I don't miss Philip Seymour Hoffman.
I'll never forget, too, the day he passed away, man. It was fucking Super Bowl Sunday. Unreal.
I love this sequence.
So Philip Seymour Hoffman is a brilliant dramatic actor, but in Along Came Polly, he genuinely gives, I think, one of the funniest performances I've ever seen. His pratfalls and slapstick in that movie are so good.
He's a good comedic actor. I love him in Twister. Not such a
Yeah.
comedic role, but I love
I
him.
point to you, yes.
Oh, yeah, that's another great one, BCD, is his performance in Charlie Wilson's War, which was also Sorkin penned.
You gotta carry the one. I love that line.
Yeah. Also, his small role in Almost Famous is one of my favorites.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
He's
His
so
Lester
good.
Bangs is iconic.
Yeah, like, if you've never seen Almost Famous, you really need to see Almost Famous.
So the rules to Pajukin Ball are beat James at all costs. No other rules matter.
Oh, and tell Sean Sullivan to go fuck himself when he's late.
Whoa.
I did last night. It's the same, right?
Sorry, I'm coming for that hockey title.
Yeah, go get fucked.
I know nothing about hockey.
If you win the hockey league, I'm gonna be beside myself. All of them pushing back on him, and they're like, "No, don't do this, don't do this." But he's like, "No, man, we have to."
Yeah. The shut up is so good.
Yeah,
My favorite Philip Seymour Hoffman performance is every Philip Seymour Hoffman performance.
I think that's a fair assessment, actually. Dude, he was even great in the Hunger Games movies. Like, dude was
Yeah.
he never phoned a performance in. That's how great he was. And I think about his Along Came Polly performance a lot. It's just amazing.
And it is this exact reason why I think somehow James is still going to manage to win our fantasy hockey league.
Yep. And if he does, Brandy, I'm blaming you.
Look, I'm taking it seriously. That way I can actually try.
I love that line. Who?
Yeah.
Exactly. He sounds like an Oakland A already.
Yep. What is his name?
Glenn Morshower.
That was Glenn Morshower, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's on 24. He's in the
Transformers.
movies.
And he's
And
a
in fact,
different
he's in the
character in every
In the
one.
ride.
Yeah.
Right. But in the Transformers ride, he's like the one actor they got who's like, come on in, welcome, blah, blah, blah.
It's so perfect. And in every Transformers movie, he's a different character, which made it that much better. So when you walked into the ride, I was like, holy shit, again? Good job, Michael Bay.
Other than Kiefer Sutherland, he's the only actor to be in every season of 24.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
He's also on The Resident. He's not a main character, but he plays the main character's dad, so he's a recurring character.
Got it.
I saw him in something recently, and I can't remember what it was.
Me too, Mike. Me too.
Me too.
It's gonna be fun. 2 more days until the season starts. I mean, that's literally what sabermetrics is it's counting.
Hard counting. Yeah.
This is not a discussion. That to me is the like Remember the Titans. This is not a democracy. This is a dictatorship.
I also can't imagine scouts actually talking to their GM like that.
Right?
I'm sure these old guys do.
Probably. Especially to a guy that's, 20, 30 years younger than them.
So look, I know Chris Pratt gets a bad rap these days. I don't think it's entirely deserved. I don't love his church and politics to a certain extent. I do think he's a charming actor. I like him a lot in this movie.
I do too.
And around this time, he had an incredible run. He was in a Best Picture nominee in 2011, 2012, and 2013, which is kind of unheard of. Can you name all 3 of those movies?
Zero Dark 30.
Yep.
Yep.
This one.
Yep.
I can't think what the third one is.
It's the hardest one. Yep, there it is. Her. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot he's in that.
Yep.
He's great in that.
He's so fantastic in that movie.
Yeah, I've only seen her once. I need to rewatch that too. I've been meaning to.
Her is a brilliant double feature with Lost in Translation because they are both movies where Spike Jonze and Sofia Coppola deal with breaking up with each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I've been meaning to watch that.
Her is the one with Phoenix and ScarJo?
Amy Adams. Yeah, ScarJo plays the voice, and then you got Amy Adams in there.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, her's great.
It is.
Yeah, I love that movie. I think it's
Me
beautiful.
too.
Actually, I don't think I own it yet on Blu-ray. I really need to get it.
Wait, what? PJ doesn't own a physical media movie?
I own it.
Yeah, it was one of
If
those.
there's a movie that PJ doesn't own, the odds are I do. So between the two of us, we have it covered.
And if we've accidentally ordered doubles of, and if we've ever accidentally doubled up on something, I always ask one of them first to see if one of them needs it.
Brandy, I highly recommend her. I think it's beautiful and very relevant. It's like a super modern film. Zero Dark 30 is very hard to watch because it features some very intense scenes of torture.
Yeah.
But I think it's really great. Jessica Chastain is fantastic. So is Jason Clarke, and Catherine Bigelow is just a great director. But it's a tough watch.
It's very tough, but it's really well made.
Yeah.
I may have done
that.
a this when they killed him the first time I saw the movie.
I love that line. It's not that hard. Tell them watch. It's extremely hard.
I love that.
I think one of the hardest things at first base is scooping. Like some guys make it look so easy. Speaking of the A's, their closer just signed with the White Sox.
Oh wow.
Liam Hendricks, 3
Yeah,
years,
Hendricks.
$54 million.
It's amazing. We had him on our team like 4 years ago for about a month. They signed him and then they released him before the season started. And like 2 years later, he blew up. Just went crazy.
I love this scene. Such a great scene.
Yeah.
Being able
And then
to
the hug he gives his wife.
evaluate talent in sports has got to be one of
It
the
hits
hardest
different,
things.
man.
It's so difficult to know. Okay, I see this guy. Is he going to be good? Because there's so many different factors.
And now here we have one of my favorite little cameos, and we were just talking about Spike Jonze,
Yes.
who directed Her, who directed Adaptation and Being John Malkovich, and he plays the new man of his ex-wife.
Yep.
I never realized that was Spike Jonze.
Yep.
It is Spike Jonze. Yep.
I really.
He's
like Spike
also,
Jonze.
a big part of the Jackass crew too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He produced all the movies was a big part of how they got made.
I never added him in my brain as that's Spike Jonze in this movie. I never did. That's great.
Spike Jonze is also in The Wolf of Wall Street.
Mm-hmm.
He works at the penny stock place earlier on in the film. I mean,
I don't think first base it makes that much of a. I prefer someone with longer legs and longer arms over anything.
who can best do the splits,
Right? Like
whoever can stretch out the best. I mean, I think left-handed is more natural, but there's many very good right-handed first basemen.
I don't think
Anything to give left-handed people a better name. That's what we do in these parts.
maybe left-handed just because it's easier to toss to the pitcher when they're coming
And
over.
see, this is what I was talking about. Those fucking sandals that Spike Jonze is wearing drive me crazy.
I used to have a pair of sandals that look like that.
I don't mind sandals. I hate the look of sandals with pants.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've definitely done that before, though.
For my sister's wedding, I had to wear a suit and sandals because it was on the beach, and I was like, I feel like an asshole.
And also the other reason it's traditionally a left-handed first baseman is because you have the glove on your right hand. It's easier to apply a tag on pickoffs.
Yep. When the pitcher, and that's why left-handed pitchers have a better move to first base because
Well, they don't have to turn; they can just stare at
Right.
you.
Yep.
That's why if you're trying,
I
to
know
steal-
we know nothing about baseball here on the Pajukan.
That's why if you have to steal off a lefty, you gotta wait like an extra half second.
He's got to watch that toe. Once that
Yeah.
toe breaks the
Or like if they bring up their leg, you have to wait to see for it to go forward or not because
So,
you can't bring it up and then step over to first.
This song that she sings and that gets played later, a lot of people thought it was written for the movie, but it's actually by an Australian artist, Lenka. But this cover that this little actress, Karis Dorsey, does is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I listen to it a lot. I find it to be like a very calming, relaxing, charming song. And this is the stuff in the movie. I mean, I love the baseball stuff, but the humanity they bring to Billy and his family is so gorgeous.
Agreed.
it really
you
grounds
care-
everything.
Cares so deeply about Billy. Like, we'll get there, but there's a scene later where they're making ice cream sundaes that just makes me so happy. That's a pretty guitar, too.
It is,
Yeah.
and I love her singing it in here, but I like it even better later on in the movie when it
Yeah.
returns.
I listen to it a lot because they put it on the soundtrack.
Yeah.
I wonder if she done other stuff.
I want to say yes, but it's very little. The last time I watched it, I looked, and I can't remember.
Got in the middle. Riddle,
She really just sells this song, man. It's so ridiculous how good she is. And it's just such again, it's so human. And I think Maxwell's right. Like, the best parts of this movie are when it's human.
And the look on Brad Pitt's face during all of this is just so great.
So
and
great.
it kind again, like, not to go back to Steve Jobs, but that's part of what made Steve Jobs so great is that by the time it's over, to see him be human, like that's why that ending works.
I also always thought they picked that song called "The Show" because the Major Leagues is called "The Show," the Big Show.
That feels intentional for sure.
I love these classic 80s Mets jerseys.
Karis Dorsey is the daughter in Ray Donovan. Good to know. Yeah, these uniforms.
Heyo.
Although speaking about uniforms, I desperately want the Mets to bring back their black uniforms.
There's been a lot of
that they used
talking about that
in the early 2000s. And Steve Cohen on Twitter has said maybe
Dodger Stadium. Dude, I can't wait until I can go to a baseball game again.
Buck, when all this is said and done, you and I are going up to go to a Diamondbacks game.
Oh, the last live event, just live thing that I did was a spring training baseball game. It was literally like the day before all the baseball shut down there.
Yeah.
So Karis Dorsey is actually a very busy young actress. She was in 91 episodes of Brothers and Sisters and 82 episodes of Ray Donovan as Ray's daughter. So she's done a lot.
I didn't realize she was in Brothers and Sisters, but I only ever tangentially watched that. Like, my mom would watch it a lot.
My mom, same here. I've been wanting to watch Ray Donovan, although there's an actor in it I don't want to support.
Nope.
So... hey, flashbacks. Everyone in the chat. And
what up, Jeff?
Quiz show, I guess. I mean,
yes. Hashtag draft quiz show. Oh, Mets are going to be here the first week of June.
Maxwell and I were supposed to go to a Mets game together last year, and then
we had all these plans. I was going to come up to, it just didn't work.
Look at that.
I don't know if I'm going to get to go any Mets games this year, but the one I really want to go to is the Mets are playing the Yankees on September 11th.
I was going to say that was the one that you and I have been talking about.
Our plan is to go to that game and then fly to London the next day.
Yep.
So we'll see. But yes, we would probably film some travel vlogs for Pajukin while we're in London.
It would be very Craig Ferguson in Paris, if you ever remember those episodes of The Late Late Show. I'll even bring a stuffed or a rabbit puppet with me if that works. One of these days, I'm just going to start the unwind with the opening of the Late Late Show with Craig Ferguson, just to throw people off.
So you want to talk about the best laid plans? So I decided I was going to get my passport for the very first time, like last February. I didn't, but like 3 weeks later, oh yeah. So.
Yeah,
that's all my
yeah. By the way, PJ, you need to get on that just in case.
Yeah, I'll do it like ASAP. I got the time. I got the funds to do it. We'll make it happen.
I've had a passport since I was 6 weeks old.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So he's not wrong here. Baseball isn't just numbers, but it's not just evaluating talent.
Well, ideally, it's a balance between the two.
You got to be synergy.
Yeah, and I think this movie explores that in a very interesting way. What Billy Beane was trying to do was very interesting and do it by the numbers. It was,
but I don't think him and Pete lack that understanding of what makes a baseball player too. I mean, Billy's a baseball guy, even though he didn't have success playing. He's like as baseball guy as it gets. He understands that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't he a part owner of the Oakland Athletics now?
That I don't know.
Minority owner?
Pretty high up in terms of...
It would make sense. I think I might have heard something about that, but I can't say for sure. But
I thought he was.
What you have to have is that synergy where you use the statistics and you use the sabermetric idea, that approach to get to a baseline, and then you use the intangibles when you have two similar players.
His current job title is the executive vice president.
Jeff.
Of baseball operations and minority.
God
owner.
damn! I'm sorry, Jeff.
Oh no, that's so terrible.
That's tough, Jeff. Well, once you get to go, it'll be amazing.
Yeah. Jeff and his wife are really cool people too.
I like Jeff a lot. I don't know his wife.
I like Jeff a lot. I do not know his wife either.
She likes to just bust his balls when we're playing Among Us, and it's great. I love it. All that.
I love that. Fuck you, Billy. Now I will.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, they do set a record that year. So.
You're the new head scout. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Like Billy's just like, fuck it, I'm doing what I'm doing, and
Just blow it up.
Gonna stop me. Yeah.
Look, when your ownership is not supporting you, when you don't have the budget you need, you got to do what you can do.
Kevin Youkilis.
Poor A's, man. They really
Love-
need a new stadium out there, though.
I love how they use the radio callers to sort of set the tone of how people around the team are feeling.
Gives you that very early major league vibes when they're in spring training.
Yeah.
Who are these guys?
Hey-o.
Meanwhile, now there's like 6 to 8 guys who throw exactly like he throws, and they're some of the best relievers because just throws you off.
Yeah.
It wasn't a complete oddity back then either, because
It wasn't.
throwing sidearm for decades.
You could probably look at a clock and there's a player that throws it every time.
Yeah.
If you just take a look at it. Like there's someone that throws right over the top, sidearm, underarm.
Yeah, the only one that's in the league that I know of right now is Darren O'Day for the Braves, who did pitch for the Orioles. And he and I actually went to college together. Didn't know him, but yeah, we went to University of Florida at the same time. And he was a walk-on there. He didn't have a scholarship offer. He threw regular. And then over the summer, he and his brother taught himself to throw sidearm, made the team, and then ends up being a major league player just by reinventing himself.
Yeah, because unless you throw 100 miles an hour, you're not gonna do well. So you have
He
to do something else.
sabermetrics his own career. He's like, well, I don't have the power to pitch with these guys, so I'm going to figure out a way to get people out. And he did.
So this is a random aside. Is this maybe like the closest Aaron Sorkin film to like A Few Good Men and The American President? It's not filled with like the kind of kinetic energy that they become known for. Even his TV shows are the same way. Like it's a much more slow burn type film with great dialogue, but it's not with, his movies are kind of frantic now. They have a very specific feel and pace.
I think of all the movies he's written, this is the least typically Sorkin.
Yeah.
It still has that sharp dialogue and writing and great characters.
Yeah.
But if I didn't know he had written it, I wouldn't necessarily automatically say Sorkin wrote this. Whereas Steve Jobs, Social Network, Trial,
even Charlie Wilson's War.
Definitely Charlie. I'm like, this is Aaron Sorkin.
He's like,
Yeah, you don't get the
better-
walk and talks in this, and you don't have like that rapid fire dialogue, even though the dialogue is still whip smart and it's really, really good, but it doesn't have that kinetic pace.
Yeah,
It's
I agree.
So. The Raiders play there too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not
Not anymore. Or
anymore.
Yeah.
Raiders are
Oh yeah, they moved.
Yeah, there's some really bad war stories with that stadium where like the plumbing backs up into the visitors' dugout.
Yeah.
And
Any stadium where you got to play baseball and football in the same stadium tends not to work so well.
yeah,
Yeah, this is true. Sorkin only wrote the script with Steve Zalian.
Yeah.
And Bennett Miller is definitely a very composed,
Yeah.
slow burn filmmaker. All three of the films he made have a very deliberate pace.
mm-hmm.
Whenever I hear shit like that, like you're 36, you're an old man, how's your body gonna hold up? I'm like, God damn it, I'm dying, aren't I?
Yeah, I feel the same way. Like going into next week, where I'm like, can we stop talking about that being that because I'm heading straight towards that.
I'm older than you are, PJ. Shut up.
I'm older than
but
both
not
of you
by
are.
much.
Both of you shut up.
Nobody asked you, James.
Are you 30 yet, Buck?
32. I just turned 32.
Am I the youngest person on this call?
Yep.
That's weird. That never happens.
You are the baby.
I tell you, it's a really bad feeling when the players that you watch are younger than you. When that flip happens, it sucks. Especially with the ones that are over the hill, like sports-wise, like Max just said, like 36, 37. When you start getting around there.
This is true.
We love you, Brandy.
PJ turns 31 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Meaning tomorrow or a week?
No, a week from tomorrow.
Yeah, next Tuesday.
That's what I thought it was. God, I really hope.
By the way, if you're a baseball fan and you have not watched the TV show Brockmire, I cannot recommend it highly enough. It is hysterical. Hank
I love Hank
Azaria.
Azaria.
Area is so great.
Utkarsh has a great run in season 2. Great show that no one has seen.
I actually haven't watched season 2, so I didn't know Utkarsh was in season 2. That's awesome.
There's 4 seasons, and it's all on
I watched
Hulu.
season 1, and then I just kind of fell off of
And
it.
it just gets
stuck on my
better and better
DVR.
and better.
I love you, GK, man.
Me too. I love the like guitar Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
I just want to go to one game this year. That's all I want. One game, and I'll be content.
Yeah. Matt,
I mean, I'd like to go to
you're
like
also
20 or
31.
30,
Okay.
but I'll take one.
Right? I'm like, just one. Now, if we can start going from day one, that's different.
Jeff said, I turned 28 on November 6th during election week. Since then, I've aged to 56. I think we all feel that way, man.
Trust me, man. My birthday was on the 6th, and I feel like I've aged 10 years in the last week.
Yeah, and of course, like, as I kind of said, it's looking like my birthday may end up not being much better because of these fucking psychopaths. So, that's where we're at.
And here comes the song again by the Mighty Rio Grande. It's an incredible song. This scene too, Billy just working out and like turning it off and on.
Yeah, so good.
Happy belated birthday, James.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that. And happy, very belated birthday to
Thank
Mike
you.
Peck.
Brandy. Yeah.
You know you're old when the guys you grew up watching are having their kids play in the game.
Oh, yeah, that one
Like
hurts too.
Fernando Tatis Jr.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I love watching him play.
He's an incredible ball player.
The Padres would be very smart to lock him up now.
Yeah.
Rumor is that they're working on a 11-year, $300 million deal right now.
Worth it. It's worth it. Because in 3 years, that'll be a $500 million deal.
Exactly. I'm like, that's a freaking steal. Like, sign that right now, Padres.
I mean, with every passing year, the deal Jacob deGrom signed seems like the biggest steal in baseball.
Not my first baseball game. Anything else? The way he delivers that line. I just love Philip Seymour Hoffman, dude. He's so good.
I think this is the second movie I've seen of his in the last week because I rewatched the entire Mission Impossible franchise.
Yep.
So I watched 3 last week.
He's so good in that.
He is. He really is.
I mean, he's good in everything.
You're not wrong.
I don't think I've ever seen a Hoffman performance that I didn't like.
And he's so
In a couple
versatile.
of movies, but yeah, his performances.
But like, he could do
sometimes
anything.
That's not on him. It's just
Yeah, he's a chameleon.
Like, you watch this, and then you watch Capote, and then you watch Punch Drunk Love, and then Along Came Polly, and he's different in every movie.
Yeah. Again, I can't say enough good things about his performance in Along Came Polly, and that's not a joke. He's
No,
great
I
in
think
that
he's
movie.
genius in that movie. That
The
towards the
pratfall.
beginning,
Oh my god.
where he falls, brilliant.
Yeah, he is incredible in that movie. What was it? He was in Crocodile Tears. Take a drink. They said the name of the movie.
So one of my biggest pet peeves about sports, especially baseball. Oh, it didn't work the first 10th of the season, so the season's over.
I have very specific feelings about people doing things like that at all, and I think
There have been some seasons in the past few years where the Mets, I counted them out in June, and then they had a good run in August, and they made the playoffs. So you just never know. The year they went to the World Series, prior to the All-Star break, they were a bad team, and then you make a couple moves, and everything comes together, and they made a hell of a run.
And there was a year in like 2005 where the Orioles were in first place like a week before the All-Star break, and we knew that wasn't going to last. And it didn't. It's a marathon.
You know, when
like
you have a season like last season where it's only 60 games, it's a different story. But when you play 162 games,
yeah.
I know a lot of people who said, "Oh, they should change it to 60 every year." That's not.
No.
I need.
Yeah, Brandy is right. There are always 38,802.3 baseball games this season. There's always time to come back.
Baseball
That was very specific, Brandy.
Is the only sport that's a marathon.
Which?
Taking out last season. Don't count last season. Last season was a sprint.
Hockey is a marathon to a certain point, but still not to the same extent.
This is stupid.
They're so good together. I think him and Jonah have such a great relationship.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to see them work together again.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd like to see him and Leo work together again.
Yes.
Oh man, I might.
Or just make a movie with all three of them where they're like three best friends.
Yeah, I might
maybe
have to rewatch
Soderbergh heist movie.
I would watch the shit out of that. I want another Ocean's movie. God damn it!
I want Ocean's 914.
What would be the premise?
914.
I don't care at this point.
The cast of Ocean's 8 and the cast of Ocean's 11 joining together.
Yeah,
and it's determined that Danny is actually still alive. He faked his death.
I'm 95% sure that was. So I don't know if. I guess it's probably well outside of the like. I got invited a long time ago.
Are you, Brandy? Are you asking us to choose which pair we prefer?
But I'll say this. Damon was also in Ocean's 8 at one point. And I think
so was may he rest in peace, Carl Reiner.
Yeah, and so I have a feeling, and this is just my thought process. If you watch Ocean's 8, the very last scene cuts very suddenly.
Mm-hmm.
Like it happens so fast that it's almost jarring the way that it cuts to credits. I've always believed that he showed up at the end and he had like a, just so you know, Danny's still out there.
Oh,
because you know what I'm saying?
I mean, all three. I would love to see all three of them together, but I think Pitt and Hill would be great. But because Pitt and Leo were so great together, just put all three of them in a movie together.
I need to watch one.
I mean, all three of them have done a Tarantino.
I just haven't watched it.
Yeah, I was going to say, put all three of them in a Tarantino movie would be great.
His very last.
It's not going to be his last.
I know. I think he's going to do a lot of television, though. I think he's going to do like Showtime miniseries type things.
I agree. But yeah, I think Ocean's 8 did well. Although Brad Pitt has said time and time again, if you ever see me do another Ocean's movie, you know that I'm having money problems.
I think if Soderbergh came to him, though, he'd do it.
I do too.
Like, I really do. If he gave him the right thing.
He has nothing left to prove. He has his acting Oscar. He's I would say one of the greatest producers of our time in terms of giving voice to filmmakers who maybe otherwise wouldn't give a voice and not really speaking up or taking credit. Like he produced 12 Years a Slave, he produced Moonlight, all these incredible films.
So one critique that I have about this movie is they don't really bring up any of the essential players of this team. Hudson, Zito, Mulder, Tejada, like they're not even like you don't even see them throughout this movie, and they were so essential to this season.
Yeah,
Yeah, the
And I
focus
think
is
that's because they
definitely
were
on the 3 like outlier players.
yeah. Well, all those players were like homegrown, like in their farm system and stuff. So they're focusing more on like the players that they reached out to acquire and things.
I like World War Z, and I think it's one of the great last act saves we've seen. Like supposedly they reshot the entire last act. Damon Lindelof came in and rewrote it, and I think that last act actually works really well. I think some of the effects with the zombies are a little rough, but I think it's a pretty enjoyable movie.
I would
very, very much like when it was floated that Fincher was going to direct a sequel. I was so excited.
Yeah. And that got so close, but no studio, unfortunately, is willing to give Fincher $200 million.
Well, Netflix is.
Well, but but that's what I mean. A studio at the time when they were trying to do World War Z. But hey, maybe Paramount and Netflix can team up. Because Netflix is doing what is it, the Army of the Dead, the original
Zack
sequel.
Snyder?
Yeah, with Snyder, which was originally his Dawn of the Dead sequel.
I'm pretty excited for that. I think it'll be fun.
Me too.
Dawn of the Dead is still my favorite Zack Snyder movie. So him doing zombies again and staying away from. Yeah, this is what we were just talking about, Mike. It's like you read our minds.
It doesn't help when your manager hasn't bought in.
And you're not getting support from ownership either, really.
No.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if we get a trailer for Army of the Dead soon.
Well, especially considering the prequel's already finished too. At least shooting. Or yeah. We should also be getting a new trailer for Justice League pretty soon.
Yeah, I thought I heard him say that there was something like in early January that was coming out. I think he said it on that social media site that he posts on all the time.
Vero, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right. I was about to say voodoo, but I'm like,
that
no, wait.
shot of throw. God damn it.
Oh yeah, here we go.
Okay, this is that it's talking about.
So pissed. I might have to go get some here after this movie now.
I know. I wish I had a Sunday.
Mike, I think the release date's kind of actually out there. Like, it's been floating around. It's like March 20th.
Are you talking Justice League or Army of the Dead?
Oh, Justice League, yeah.
Oh. I'm more excited for Army of the Dead, frankly.
When that
I
comes out.
I am too.
We saw what Wonder Woman 84 was. Like, the Snyder Cut's gonna be a war zone.
Oh, yeah.
The discourse is going to be horrific.
Yeah. I'll say this. My thoughts and feelings on the fandom and everything aside, I am happy to see that Snyder got to finish his movie in the end. I think it's only right that he got to in the end. And I think that WB actually making a stand to be like, you know what, we're going to do it, is pretty great.
That's all I want, is let him finish the movie that he was hired to make.
I want him to make a sequel to Owls of Ga'Hoole.
That'd be dope.
I like that movie a lot.
Yeah.
I like that he's shaving in his office.
Me too. Pena just walks by. Pena.
Okay.
That's one of my favorite moments, and then he flips the desk.
So pissed. And I think if I remember right, Pena struck out a lot.
Yeah.
This is the same Carlos Pena I'm thinking of.
That I can explain in job interviews next winter.
That little he does.
Yeah. The way he says it, he doesn't even like really reiterate, or he doesn't like fight with him. He just says Hattie, not Pena. The look he gives him, and then he walks off. So good, so good.
And I love what he does to fix the situation.
Yay, Orioles. It looks like we actually won a game. All right.
Let's see, Melvin Moore. Ooh, is that Gary Matthews Jr.?
It did look like Gary Matthews Jr., actually, yeah.
Oh, this right.
This is a great
This is
scene.
amazing, and just the quiet, by the way, as that like him hearing it in that
And the
turn.
way the camera sort of turned and is walking with him.
That's the most Sorkin part of this movie. Just throwing that out.
Ryan, you just lost again, and you're dancing. Oh boy.
So good. Get down. It's like talking to a dog. Get down. It's so hard to not just get so enamored in this whole sequence.
He's like,
Love that line.
Yeah,
So
me
good.
too. The way he pauses, the hold that he has, is what really sells it. God, he's just so good at being angry in this. Like, every time he throws something, it's just like peak Brad Pitt.
it's my liquor. I can't wait to hug someone like that so bad.
Yeah. I miss physical contact with human beings.
I do too.
I still don't get used to watching movies where people have physical contact. It's like, wait a second. You can't do that.
I'm like
6 feet in a mask, yeah.
I'm like 6 feet.
6 feet in a goddamn mask.
That's the best thing I've ever seen.
Huh.
Marcus Stroman posted on his Instagram, "I'm wearing 0 on my jersey next year to represent how many fucks I give when it comes to being myself on the mound, all future."
Love it.
So good.
Good.
He's still on the Mets, right?
Yeah, he signed a qualifying offer, which I was very happy with, especially because he opted out last season because of COVID.
That pitching staff could be really good.
Yeah. I mean, I'd still like them to sign Bauer, but even without Bauer, with DeGrom, Carrasco, Stroman, Peterson,
This whole scene is just
This scene is
fantastic.
excellent.
this is my favorite scene in the movie.
Yeah,
Same.
Yeah,
It's my favorite scene, too.
yeah. This scene's so good.
The
I'll call you
cleaning
back.
house.
Or actually, it might be the scene later on.
Yeah, I think it is a later
It's the
scene.
trade, yeah,
that
it's the trade deadline.
Yeah,
scene.
that I missed. Yeah.
This scene's still great though.
Yeah.
I think one of my favorite moments is when Brand is on the phone and he does this.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite gifts to use too.
Yeah, that's part of that trade deadline scene that I think Max and I are alluding to.
That's when Jonah Hill has that iconic.
I think we all thought this was that scene.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it's still a good scene.
No, but I
should
like
have
this
known
scene
because he's not wearing the hat.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
just
You're
the
right.
whole thing. He's like, "How are we supposed to explain these moves to people? Like, you're doing this emotionally. You're not thinking." And he's like, "No, I am."
I love how he's like, all right, how you weren't gonna play who I want, and you're gonna play Pena instead. Well,
Yeah, the Mets pitching rotation, especially assume Syndergaard comes back in June if he recovers well from Tommy John.
on paper, yes, the Mets rotation looks really good on paper.
The Mets look like they have a championship caliber team this year.
And the ownership and management that they need to support that.
I think they could push the Braves for the East for sure.
From all of your lips to the baseball god's ears.
Maybe Brad Pitt is why I like to lean back in chairs. Because that's currently what I'm doing. And it's very comfortable.
One of my favorite things is how in this movie Brad Pitt's always casually dressed in like a polo and khakis, and Peter Brandt's always in a tie.
Yeah.
Do people really dress like this is my question.
Like what?
Nicely, not wearing t-shirts and jeans.
Yes, all the time when I go into my office.
Yeah,
I was just asking. I don't know what that feels like. That's why.
I haven't
I
dressed
mean-
that way since last April. I think was the last time I was.
It was a joke. It was a joke.
PJ, we can't all be like you and wear jock straps and horror t-shirts every day.
Okay, one of those things was accurate.
I mean,
I know. I've seen your vast
He's
collection of jock straps.
We don't see him from the waist down, so who knows what's being worn down.
That's not true. There's been times you can definitely see like my shorts or my pajama pants on screen when I've like kicked my feet up. You know, it happens.
Oh, look, what's happening?
He's eating
a
again.
Twinkie. The way he bites into that Twinkie is so great.
I love that enlarged All-Star Game ticket wall hanging that was there.
He looks so nervous.
I mean, if you had to tell someone you were letting him go, wouldn't you be nervous?
I mean, it's not like he's not gonna have a job. He's still gonna be in Major League Baseball.
My favorite trades that happen in baseball, and it doesn't happen a lot, but when you're traded from one team to another team that's playing your first team tonight and you just go from the home dugout to the visitors dugout or vice versa, love that.
And there's some like they'll have a clause to where they'll make sure that they aren't allowed to play them like that night. Like I've seen that a couple times where saying okay, yeah, we'll make this.
Yeah,
trade, agree to it, but you
I don't
can't
ever
have
wear
it
a
until the next day.
tie at my job, but business casual is still a step up from horror t-shirts and jock straps.
He's like this motherfucker.
I love this scene too.
Yeah.
All the scenes.
Yeah,
That's just the truth.
I'll start who I want to start.
Because he's not on the
Yep, because he's not on the team. The look
That
on his
look.
face. I know.
He's good. What?
Yeah.
The way he says mind, the emphasis on it. You are outside your mind.
He's like, what the?
Yeah.
What is this man doing?
Oh, it's so good. Just the whole. Oh my god, he does it so casually.
Wait, he switches chairs too.
Yeah.
Jeremy's gone too.
Actually, he just saved this team, by the way,
Yep.
because this is where they turn it around.
Yeah, 100%, and then walks out the door.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Do you want me to close this?
So good. What a great moment, man. But that's also taking the power into your own hands. Like, the dude wouldn't listen to you. Fuck it. I'm going to do what I need to do.
Spit out his seeds.
Very motivational.
Yeah, very
So good.
Play like one tonight.
They should play that at stadiums.
Yeah.
You may not look like a winning team,
But play like
but
one.
you are one. So
That could have been Mikel Tejada.
I think that was.
yes.
Just get on base. That's all that matters.
This guy playing David Justice has a good swing.
He
Looks
does.
a lot like him too. They did a really good job with this.
Yeah.
Barely, but yes, he was a player.
He knows the game, though. He played. A player's a player. It doesn't matter if it's a season or not. You know, Downey Jr. only did like one season of SNL. He's still an SNL cast member.
It's the thing, though. I mean, they say if you can't do, teach. You know, a lot of the best managers and the best executives are players that didn't have, you know, Hall of Fame careers in any sport.
Yep.
I mean, you see people that were, you know, third string catchers and they go on to be Hall of Fame managers because they know the
Yep.
game. That line's so good.
That always boggles
Watching
my mind.
this, I desperately want to go to a batting cage and just beat the hell out of some balls.
That sounds like a great idea, actually. The fact that a team will pay a player that's not even on the team anymore, just I'm like, what?
This speech is so good.
Man, Justice was back with the Braves. He was such a great player.
Yeah, he really was.
One of my favorite sounds right here.
Oh, that's the
Ball.
best sound. Yeah.
Oh, ball hitting the bat and a ball hitting a glove.
Yeah. They're two of the best sounds in the world, man.
Oh, they really are.
Smell of fresh mown grass.
I love this.
Yeah, I do too.
Yep. No, seriously.
No, seriously. Look what he pours the cereal into.
Even in that little moment right there,
Every
Pratt
time I
is-
watch this, I'm like, my God, they have a shitty clubhouse.
they really
That's
Oh, yeah.
how little money this team has.
Yeah, they. That is up.
do. Oh, hey, good luck with that.
All right, good luck with that.
David Justice was married to Halle Berry.
The actual David
I did not know
Justice
that.
or this guy was married to Halle Berry.
No, I believe it was the actual David Justice.
They were married from 93 till 97.
Oh, wow.
And it did not end well. It ended with Halle Berry getting a restraining order against David Justice.
That's nice.
Oh God, he got traded for Robin Ventura.
Mm.
I didn't realize that.
Who's that? Justice?
Yep, when
For-
he went from the Yankees.
I'm saying he got traded for Ventura from like what?
Wait, no.
Where was the transaction
Yeah.
between?
Yankees traded Justice to the Mets on December 7th, 2001. Who then traded him to the A's.
Gotcha. I always think of Ventura as a White Sox. And when he beat the crap out of Nolan Ryan. Or when Nolan Ryan beat the crap out of him, I should say.
I love the way they shoot like the in-game footage, the lighting, how it's just the players and they're very brightly lit and dark behind it.
Yeah, it's almost like a tunnel vision type thing.
Oh, Patty, I would think you'd be a great teacher. I believe in you.
Oh, you'd be an excellent teacher.
Don't be nervous.
Yeah. I thought about trying to be a teacher. I always thought it'd be fun. I wanted to teach history. That was a long time thing for a while. It was like I would love to teach world history in high school.
Mm.
I love.
But then you have to remember high school kids.
Yeah.
And you would have a nervous breakdown as well.
Dude, I have a... You know what? We're not going to talk about that.
It's like if I ever taught, I would teach elementary school when the kids are still wholesome and awesome.
Some children are monsters still, sir.
This is probably the only walk and talk in the entire movie.
I was going to say, the thing I like about this is that he
Well, you
starts
just heard the name
being around
Parada.
more.
It's more a walk and eat because it's Pitt.
And I like that he's actually like in the
And there
dugout,
he
a little,
was.
or not the dugout, but he's in the clubhouse a little bit more. He's kind
Eating
of out
again.
more. Yeah, he's really trying, man.
Doing his best Benjamin Button right now, looking like he's 80 years old.
Yeah,
Here we go.
Here we go. Yes.
Let's go. I love.
Shapiro.
I think one of the reasons why I love this scene is because I have always wondered how the trade deadline day just goes for these GMs.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
I'd actually
definitely
love to
think-
see a whole movie just about a trade deadline, kind of like a draft day.
Yeah,
I was gonna
the
say,
draft day was so
I
fun.
love that scene in Draft Day, and that's what this reminds me of. Sadly, I don't think it's ever this frantic. I'm sure it's a lot more planned out, but it's so good to see. It's like this is the most Sorkin dialogue of the whole movie.
Yeah.
And wait for it. There it is.
He's eating
Just
again.
stuff in his face. The way he spits that stuff out.
The way that they're doing this is
It's
just
like a
so good.
heist.
Yeah. Duncan, no.
The fact that he knows, like, you give him a name and he knows what the guy is. That
Yeah. You don't even know who Egerton is. What a great line of dialogue. I get so caught up in watching this scene play out. It's just
It's
so
so good. The silence. The pause.
So good.
Just the tension that he feels in this is so great.
Please, he adds the
I added
please.
the please.
Oh, Jonah.
Okay, so this says he'll pay for it himself. But when he sells it for more money next year,
There it is.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah,
the
that
best.
just the so
The
good.
best. And their high five. Oh, I love it. Chills.
Well, and then Jonah Hill calms down real quick. Like he gets his composure.
That's like the fourth phone they've now used.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty sure GMs have like 3 phones.
God, they just played that. It was a straight up heist, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's always the worst.
Yeah.
It really is.
Oh.
It's just a part of baseball, though. I mean, in today's game, they wouldn't have to. They got that one extra spot now. It's not 25 anymore. It's 27.
Yeah, but they would still probably be maxed out at the 27 when they made the trade. So they'd still have to send somebody down.
I'm so curious what's going to happen this year. If they're going to have minor league or just going to be a taxi squad again like last season.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that they'll all get
look,
vaccinated before the season.
That's
From what I've seen, they're planning on having most of a minor league season.
Just it's so heartbreaking watching it play out.
Like, he feels so bad, though.
Oh yeah, because remember he's been in the place of
It's the worst feeling too, because you see the team starting to improve, and you know that they have the capabilities of getting to the playoffs now, and you're not going to be a part of it.
No, yeah.
One of the rare players that had no batting gloves. A streak.
Winning streak is absolutely ridiculous, and if I didn't know the actual history behind it, I would think it was made up for this movie.
Right? You'd think no way a team won that many.
Especially, the dramatic stuff that's going to happen here shortly. You would think it was completely made up for this movie. It feels like something out of a script and not something that actually happened.
And yet, here we are.
Yeah.
I like how they insert Philip Seymour Hoffman into the real footage and made it look like it was from the same.
That's some pretty great CGI and effects work.
Gotta love that Costas voice.
Tom Arnold.
$17.
God damn, man.
It's literally like almost a month straight of just not losing.
It's crazy.
There's Miguel Tejada.
Shahada.
We may never lose again. What a great sign. And again, how can you not be romantic about baseball, man?
I would not have the guts to make a sign like that and tempt the baseball gods. It's like, how dare you bring that sign to a stadium?
Yeah, the baseball gods giveth, and the baseball gods taketh away hard.
So easily, by the way.
Yeah.
So easily.
Because if they would have lost that game, that person with the sign would have been beaten.
AKA Steve.
God, I just got chills.
Yeah, it's so good.
I love that. I didn't expect you to pick up.
He's like, what are you calling me for?
No, I'm not worried about Stallions. He was my other team. Jose. Nope.
Every sports fan has that internal conflict if you'll jinx something or not. Okay, change lane without signaling. Come on now.
What?
People do that all the time. What are you talking about?
Especially in Southern California. I mean, he's not in Southern California. I'm just saying it happens.
No, the Bay Area is bad too.
Phoenix is pretty bad too.
I just go right to liar, liar. I sped. I followed too closely. I almost hit a Chevy. I failed to get to the crosswalk. I failed to change. I changed lanes in the intersection. I changed lanes without signaling while running a red light and speeding.
He's like, wait, he's here?
And he's actually watching?
And he jinxes it.
Ooh, that was a bad move, man.
Refizz him.
Oh, I don't like Raul Ibanez.
He played for so long.
Oh, man. He single-handedly destroyed us when we played the Yankees a couple years ago.
God.
Of course, Billy thinks it's his fault.
Yeah, because he was there and he watched.
Yeah, man. Every time my favorite team loses because I didn't wear the right jersey or because I took my hat off at the wrong time.
Or I was there.
Yeah.
Baseball players are the most superstitious out of any athletes.
Yeah. I mean, when you play almost every single day, you're going to kind of feel more superstitious than some of the other sports.
Yep.
Well, like certain batters do the exact same thing every pitch.
Nomar Garciaparra had to sit there and take off his batting glove every pitch.
I think you mean Noma Garciaparra. The shot of him, the way he's just like cowering.
Well, because it's like watching an absolute annihilation.
Oh, it's a train wreck.
Yeah.
By the way, I think at this time the A's had a player named Mark Ellis, by the way.
They did have a player named Mark Ellis.
I just don't know if he was on the team at this time. I just
No
Funnily,
relation.
his nickname was Broccoli.
Yeah. Thought it was Broccoli Rob, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Broccoli Rob, you're right.
Hey-o. The editing in this movie, I think, does not get talked about nearly enough.
Yeah. That shot of the fans just like so disillusioned with what's happening is so great.
Oof. The crack of the bat and then the
I know.
silence. Mm. It was nominated for editing and sound editing at the Oscars.
Okay, it was good.
Yeah, the use of silence in this movie is not something you would go into thinking of, especially in a sports movie, but it's used to great effect.
Yeah, they used it extremely well.
God, there's no reason that game should have ever gotten.
No,
to
you
that.
shouldn't. You shouldn't get rid of an 11-run lead.
That's why it ain't over till it's over. Until all 27 outs are accounted for.
Really, you would think this is completely made up. It's like,
That's what's so creative.
This record-breaking game, they get up to a huge lead, completely blow it, and then, I mean, it doesn't seem real. That's the great thing about sports.
One of my favorite things about baseball, there's no time limit. So it's not like time's working against you. You could be down 20 runs. You technically still have a shot.
Yeah.
Yep. There's 27 outs, and until you get that 27th out, you still have a shot.
Yep.
And then the fact that it's Hatterberg.
Yeah, it's
just like
beautiful.
If this was like scripted, people would be like, "That's a little convenient."
Right.
It's like this whole movie, this whole sequence.
Real life is always stranger than fiction.
Yep. Well, Miracle is a perfect example of that.
Yep.
And we talk about silence when he swings, and you hear just a crack and then nothing.
I believe Chris Pratt is a ball player. He looks like a baseball player.
Yeah.
In this movie.
I would definitely believe he played in high school. I want to say that he's right-handed too, and he learned how to hit lefty for this, if I remember correctly.
I'm currently looking at half the cast of Parks and Rec because you got Chris Pratt on screen and I got Nick Offerman on my coaster.
Love it.
I love that
That's
too.
Awesome.
From his wood shop.
I technically have Chris Pratt and Nick Offerman behind me in pop form. God, I love that shot.
I got this guy right here.
Might be one of my favorite. Just look. He's like,
so
oh shoot,
good.
it's gonna get out. Oh.
And then the fucking
And then the score
the
coming
mighty
in.
Rio Grande track comes in again.
Chills.
God
like,
damn.
Hair standing up on the forearms.
Up and down my arms and my back. That sound
Insane.
editing there was just
But that shot of Billy looking up as soon as he hears it, because that's what you always hear is when you hear good contact.
Yeah,
you hear a home run, you can tell the difference immediately.
Brandy, I got these coasters with the Nick Offerman scotch because this one says the Lagavulin Offerman edition scotch. I bought a kit that came with the scotch and the coasters.
Was that the Lagavulin 17 or 11?
It's Offerman edition. He's like on the bottle. It's its own blend.
I know it was like a limited edition run they did. I wasn't
11
sure.
years. It's
was
aged
11.
11 years. Yeah. It's very smoky, but it's good.
So they did have Mark Ellis on this roster this year.
Nice.
I'm still waiting for my Paul Feig gin to come.
Yeah, I'm so glad that you were able to order it.
Yeah, it's taking forever.
So happy. He's like, I didn't jinx it. I didn't jinx it.
Patty says she honestly thought it was going to be caught or something. Nope.
No.
Hatterberg hits it out of the park.
If Paul Feig's
There you
going
go.
to
It's
come up
hard
with
not
a
to
product or something, shouldn't it be like Fig Jam or something?
No, he released his own branded gin.
I know, but I'm saying if he's going to release something, it shouldn't be like fig related. That'd be just clever. Paul Feig's figs. Fig brandy, maybe. But no, I'll definitely try that gin. I want to try the Lagavulin.
I just noticed, I never noticed this before, he still wears his wedding ring.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. It doesn't matter what you do during the regular season.
That will change the game. That whole line.
You did change it.
It does mean something.
I've gotten to wear a World Series ring. It's a pretty good feeling.
The A's have like the worst luck in the playoffs. Oh God, Ray Durham.
Eddie Guardado.
The voiceover is so interesting to me.
It's a shame because, you know, that system does work over a long sample size.
Yeah.
But with a short
I do believe
series,
what this team accomplished did change baseball.
I do too. I mean, you see how much statistics and how much sabermetrics and everything else is involved in the game of baseball now. But I mean, in a 3-game series, anything can happen. You could have the 3 best pitchers in the world. You know, a good example is the Orioles in 2014. I think we're playing the Tigers, and we beat 3 Cy Young Award winners in a row. It's like you have Scherzer and Verlander and somebody else we beat. It's like that wasn't supposed to happen, but you never know what happens in a short series. It doesn't diminish what they accomplished. But unfortunately, a lot of people just don't remember it as well because they didn't get that ring, like you said.
Everything about this, the tension of what this scene is just so good.
Mm-hmm.
David Price was the third one, James.
That's right. I couldn't remember. I knew it was somebody that wasn't around there long.
Fenway Park.
I like that reveal, too, that they don't tell you what's going on until you see Fenway.
Yeah.
It's just a massive contract offer. just stupid.
Yeah,
bro.
it's
ridiculous.
insane.
So, rumor is that he's not going to work for the Boston Red Sox, but the guy that offers him the job here is offering him a business job outside of baseball right now.
I hear Boston's nice. No matter what I might think of the team.
No matter what I think of the team either, I still want to see a game from Fenway. I've never been there.
I've
I've been to
too.
Fenway a couple times. Beautiful park.
I want to go so badly.
I am so disappointed in myself. I never saw a game at the original Yankee Stadium.
I got to do that the last season before it closed up and they moved. So I got to go to one game at Yankee Stadium.
I mean, I haven't been to a game at the current Yankee Stadium, but I did take a stadium tour during the offseason once.
Nice.
Back in 2014.
I haven't been to the new one either, so hopefully we get some baseball this year. I can come up and see a game at City and at Yankee Stadium. But I just want to sit in some bleachers again, regardless.
That's all I want, man.
It would be so great if it was possible to like plan a live schmodown in a city that had like a baseball game. That would be so much fun to do. Like the day before, have everyone go to a baseball game, and then the next day.
And the sad thing is, this is how the Red Sox basically won their World Series. They just got Theo to do it instead of Billy.
Yeah, like Theo was there for like 1 year, and they got it to work.
And then he went to Chicago.
And then got it to work there.
And he won there.
I mean, the one thing that Boston and Chicago had over Oakland, they had the money to spend as well.
Yep.
Mhm.
That's my point earlier is when you can adopt those strategies and still have the money to kind of do what you want, it's a winning formula. Now just everybody has the same pool of knowledge, so that playing field isn't.
And now the Mets hired Jared Porter, who worked with Theo in Boston and Chicago.
Yep.
It's very much from the Theo Epstein school of
You talk about a Hall of Fame resume to turn around two teams that were cursed, like the Red Sox and the
Didn't he
Cubs.
retire?
Well, he's gone. I don't know whether he fully retired. I don't know, but he either resigned or was kind of pushed out. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, he's
Brandy,
not.
I'm completely fine with that because I've only been to Denver once in the airport. My brother lives there as well, so it's like 3 birds with 1 stone.
They're dinosaurs.
Just so enamored with the movie.
Yeah, and I believe what Refism said 0-2 was Angels and Giants, I believe.
Yes, I remember this too. And Jack was like, I don't believe you.
I love how they had to reshoot the ending to Fever Pitch.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah,
I wish that movie was about any other team.
I bet.
but it does have a good
Yeah.
dropkick song in there.
It's a fine movie.
I guess that's the one thing all 4 of us here, we don't like Boston Red Sox.
That's a fact. Big fact.
I don't hate them like I hate the Yankees and the Nats.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'll tell you though, after the second World Series, Boston
Mike is thrilled by our hate for the Red Sox.
Boston fans became more annoying
Sorry,
than Yankee
Mike.
fans after that second World Series. But it's kind of flipped back again.
Yeah, I'm like, Boston, you're not the underdog anymore.
No.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. What was it? Doesn't matter. What was it? So
It was
good.
a lot of money for being a GM, which is
That would make you the highest paid GM in baseball.
Yeah. He had the offer of a lifetime. Like an insane.
that's a lot of money. He doesn't care about money. As he says.
So what?
Yep.
It's so good, man.
Doing it for what the money represents.
It really is.
The Coliseum is a dump.
It really is. It's one of the ugliest stadiums in the world, let me tell
It
you.
has the most foul territory ever. Most of the time, you think, "Oh, I'm gonna hit this ball foul. It'll probably get out of play." Not at the Coliseum.
Yeah, foul balls that would land in the concession stands of any other stadium are about 30 feet from the fence at the Coliseum.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. Especially behind home plate. Home plate, oh my lord. I love this video.
I'll say this. Any other sports film would have ended with that 20th win.
Yeah.
And that would be the end of the movie. Like, this very triumphant, exciting ending. But it keeps going because it's so character driven. And it's remarkable.
God, I love this.
Me too.
Sniper.
All the gems right there.
He fell.
Yep. Oh, they're laughing.
He just destroyed the ball. Exactly what you get.
So
The
good.
look on his face is so good.
Go!
I love that. He drops his glove and is like, let's go.
That's what I love about minor league baseball.
There it is. So good. It's a metaphor.
Call ya.
Because we get like 2 weeks off and we got to do this all over again.
Yep. I love this shot where he sees Billy lying on the field.
Yeah. Oh, it's so
When
good.
he's in the video room, it's so good.
He loves the game, man.
I don't blame him. It's a great game.
Yeah, it's a great game.
It's a fantastic game.
plays his daughter's music.
And here comes the song again.
Don't show it to anyone else. What a moment to really like bring the movie home. Any other movie would have ended 20 minutes ago.
Yep.
Love is a riddle, I don't know where to go. Can't do it alone, I've tried. Little girl lost in the moment, but I don't show it. I can't figure it out. It's bringing me down, oh no. Got to let it go. Enjoy the show. We're down, make it stop. Heart is going to pop. Yeah, it's a lot. And this just like close up footage on his face and the zooming in his eye, and you could see the water. Oh my god, it's so beautiful.
What a way to end, man.
$12 million.
$500.
Which is about the entire budget of the A's.
Yeah.
It's not quite that low, but I get what you're saying.
Enjoy the show. Billy Bean is still trying to win the last game of the season.
Aren't we all?
Not the Dodgers, because they did. Unfortunately.
Yeah. 60 games.
Freaking Moneyball, man.
that movie.
Wow.
Oh.
Brandon Buck coming in hot with the Moneyball Patreon request. And it just does not disappoint any time that you get a chance to watch it.
Yeah.
Man, how incredible is this movie? I'm going to start with Buck. You know, what were your thoughts, man? You love it.
I love this movie. First of all, I love baseball. I'll watch anything baseball all day, every day. So yeah, this was a easy choice for me. This is definitely in my top 5 of favorite baseball movies of all time. I'd probably go Major League's in there, The Sandlot, A League of Their Own, and probably 42. Because Jackie Robinson changed baseball.
Goddamn. I really like 42. I think 42 gets a...
he changed all of sports, really.
Yeah, he did. And, that movie, so good. The late, great Chadwick Boseman, Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford giving a performance, I think, was actually supporting actor worthy. He's so good as Branch Rickey. So, love the movie, man. It's... if you haven't seen 42, see 42. All right, going over to you, James. Are you still feeling romantic about baseball?
And I always feel romantic about baseball. It's my favorite sport. It's something that I've, had in my life for forever. I was in games when I was an infant. I have pictures of a couple players holding me when I was like months old. So yeah, I'm always associate, myself with baseball. I love baseball, everything. And this movie is one of the best baseball movies that you can watch. I think we should definitely do a Survivor Island of baseball movies. That would be fun.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea.
We have some planned for April,
Yeah,
and it is not baseball movies.
Mike K just streamlabbed in and said, "How can you not be romantic about baseball?"
Damn right. Yeah, no, this is it's a great movie. And Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill are both fantastic in it. And I definitely, want to see them do something else together. I think it's high time that we have those two feeding off of each other. They have such great on-screen chemistry, and I really want to see something else from them.
It would have been interesting because Steven Soderbergh was actually supposed to do this movie, but he left due to creative differences. Be interesting to see how this would have been as a Soderbergh movie.
Yeah, it would have been different.
Maxwell, what about you, my friend?
Like I said at the beginning, I adore this movie. I've watched it countless times. I think it's fantastic. It's so intelligent about baseball, so romantic about baseball. It has great character work. It's just a beautiful film. And I think it really shows a side of, even like all my other favorite baseball movies really focus on the players. Usually it's some sort of underdog story. And I just love how this really focuses on the machinations of professional baseball from the front office. And I think it's such a great approach and so superbly crafted in every regard.
Yeah.
And that song by the Mighty Rio Grande, the best. The best.
Pretty good.
There's just not more I can say, man. I just think this movie hits those notes. Like, when it comes to baseball, when it comes to sports movies, few movies get to this level. My opinion, this is a outlier in sports films in the way that it is just so human and so moving. How can you not be romantic about baseball?
Yep.
I mean, you can. You're just an evil person if you did.
Well, I hope everyone who watched along with us tonight who had seen the film before enjoyed it. And if you hadn't seen it before, I especially hope you enjoyed it. I know it was a first-time watch for Mike K, and I'm sure a couple others. So thank you for watching Moneyball with us. Buck, where can everyone find you online? What do you got going on? What do you have to promote? I know you have a new show coming up, or did it happen?
It was supposed to, but I was feeling under the weather, and I didn't want to be 110% on my first show. So we pushed it out. If you just go to Twitter right here, you'll see all my stuff.
James, how about you?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd at Gator24, G4, TOR24. And yeah, I'll be popping up here occasionally and see what the new year holds.
Peach?
You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at PJ_Campbell. You can find me hanging out here with all these fine people, watching movies, talking, hanging out. Don't miss us talking our favorite songs of all time Wednesday here on the network. And, you can find me over on our Discord if you join the Patron. $2 and up gets you access to our Discord. You can come hang out. We're all in there having a good time, talking movies, things like that. So check that out. And you can find me at the Movie Trivia Schmodown, where I write the questions. Be nice to the writers. We're only human.
Or I think that for robots, because that's what I heard, is that the people that write those questions are robots.
Rumors of our roboticness are greatly exaggerated.
Fair. You can find me online every night this week on a different show. Tomorrow night, the Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist Rewind at 9:15 Pacific on Rachel Silvestrini's channel. Wednesday night, Suddenly Soundtracks here on PJ Campbell Network. Our favorite songs of all time. Thursday night, Front Center Mezzanine is back. PJ and I are joined by our special guest, Jennifer Ashley Tepper. Then Friday night, PJ's Birthday Bash begins, which a watch along of The Shining, Stanley Kubrick's classic film. Saturday afternoon, the Water Cooler Chat is back as we focus on the brand new Marvel Studios show on Disney Plus, WandaVision. And then Sunday, it's The Unwind, the show about whatever. You can find me on Twitter at Cinemaxwell, Instagram at Cinemaxwell Inc. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love you. We love you for our support. And of course, because this was a patron pick, I'm going to play the patron credits one more time because genuinely from the bottom of our hearts, we thank you. We appreciate you. We could not do this without you. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
I'm singing in the rain, just singing in the rain. What a glorious laughing at clouds so dark up above. The sun's in my heart and I'm ready for love. Let the stormy clouds chase everyone from the place. Come on with the rain, I've a smile on my face. I'll walk down the lane with a happy refrain, just singing, singing in the rain. Dancing and singing in